Stephen Curry has ended speculation over his future by signing a one-year contract extension with the Golden State Warriors until 2027. The deal is worth a reported $62 million and change. It means the four-time NBA champion will be guaranteed $178 million over the next 3 years. Curry passes $500 million plus in career earnings on the court, joining LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Because of the over 38 rule, the one-year extension is the maximum that Golden State could offer. Now, this is really exciting. Where is my guy? There look at how dapper. Stephen A., I mean, now this man knows how to show up to First Take. Look at the suit, the haircut. He's always ready.
I have to take credit. I have to. Because he was coming here with just college shirts, no tie, anything, and I had to get on him. And ever since then, he has upgraded. People have said he looked like a politician. He looks so astute, like a statesman everywhere he goes. He was representing the United States of America in Paris just as much as the athletes were, for crying out loud. Wendy was everywhere. He was everywhere.
Wendy was
Great
everywhere.
job, by the way.
And
Thank God, Stephen. Somebody's giving Stephen A. credit. Thank God. We don't have enough Stephen A. getting credit, so thank God.
Seriously, absolutely.
Right.
But Wendy, we'll get into it. But you look relaxed. I'm glad you got to see your family. They remembered who you were, and because we'll be ramping things up pretty soon here, right? Wendy, tell me this: what do you make of Curry's extension? What can I learn from this?
Well, I actually never believed any of the hype that there was a chance that he was ever going to be anywhere but Golden State, but that did exist out there. There was some of that. So this is him just backing up what he's always said, which is he wants to be a Warrior for life. And let's just be honest, this is a vote of confidence in the direction of the Warriors. He didn't have to sign this now. In fact, he could have waited another year, and next year he would have been allowed to sign for 2 years. So him doing this now is saying, hey, I respect what we're doing as an organization, and we're going to sort of pivot and try to continue to improve here. The Warriors are not going to win a championship this year as they're currently constructed, I don't believe. I don't think many people do. But one thing that the Warriors have been doing since really last winter that, really should be paid attention to is their big game hunting. They, in one of the strangest stories of the last year in all of sports, if you ask me, if you remember, guys, the Warriors tried to trade for LeBron James at February's trade deadline. Now, it didn't get anywhere, but that was interesting. Then, over the summer, they tried to trade for Paul George. And when that didn't work out, they couldn't make a deal. They tried to trade for Lauri Markkanen. So they are absolutely big game hunting. Now, big game hunting and big game landing are two different things. But they absolutely have the ability to look at other moves as we go forward here. Let's see how this season plays out. And they went and they added some players. They have some young players on their roster. This is a team to watch going forward transactionally. And Steph Curry signing that contract is his belief that this organization still has good days ahead.
1 year, 2 year, it doesn't matter. Anybody who from the Golden State Warriors organization who allows Steph Curry to ever leave should be banned from the state of California and banned from the NBA for forever. This is the greatest play in franchise history. More importantly I don't care what anybody says, more importantly than anything else, the role model that he has been, the model citizen that he has been, while maintaining his superstar status as the greatest shooter God ever created. You just can't say enough about him. And so I want to put that, any money that he earns, I don't count his money, because whatever it is, he's underpaid. He is underpaid. Same thing with LeBron, by the way, underpaid. I don't give a damn what money you give them. They're underpaid compared to what they bring to the table. And that's just me being real and straight up about it. Having said that, the stuff that you brought up about Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, I'm very interested in delving a bit further, and in the weeks and months to come, I'm going to do that. Why couldn't they get Paul George? Why can't they get another superstar to pair with Steph Curry, especially in the aftermath of Kevin Durant's departure? Maybe you didn't feel the need to have anybody. I get that part, because Klay Thompson's Klay Thompson, and I still believe in that brother, by the way. And Draymond is Draymond. As far as I'm concerned, people better open their eyes, wake up. There's a future Hall of Fame player. Scoring ain't everything. With all the intangibles that Draymond Green brings to the table, the Warriors are not four-time champions without Draymond Green. He's a Hall of Fame. But I'm still looking at the organization as a whole. specifically Steve Kerr. And I'm saying, how come we can't get this brother any additional help?
We get past the October deadline of an extension and they don't find a deal there. I think he becomes a high probability of being traded during this season. So that's one of the things we're going to watch. I think the big thing is that Joe Lacob and that ownership group and Mike Dunleavy, their general manager, are out there looking to really add to this team. They have scaled back their spending. They've reduced their luxury tax bill by something in the neighborhood of $150 million this year. There's no doubt that their spending is down, but that doesn't mean that they won't continue to spend. And so as the season goes along, you are correct, Stephen A. We're going to watch the Warriors, how they start, and who may become available during the year.
Wendy, this is Stephen A. Smith you're talking to. So I'm going to ask you again. I know that the Golden State Warriors have tried to curb back their spending with all of those money, with all of those dollars Joe Lacob spent throughout the years, over $600 million, if I remember correctly. I mean, the money that he doled out in terms of salary, luxury tax, and all of this other stuff.
Guys.
He owes no one an apology. I was asking about a desire to play for Steve Kerr. Is that direct enough?
I think all the answers have been answered because he signed that contract yesterday.
So as you guys see, the Golden State Warriors could be a team to look at, not just with the team that they have now, but also looking at what they plan to do in the future now when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. They have gotten themselves some pretty good offseason players such as Buddy Held and another player being Kyle Yerson, and we all know how great those two players can be for other teams. I think it is fantastic, especially since Klay Thompson life, that they have gotten a couple of great players to really fill that void that Klay Thompson has left now. When it comes to someone like Jimmy Butler, not only is he a fantastic player, but he has been on the cards when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. Potential signing or trading when it comes to this season coming up now. Jimmy Butler is a great player, but as we all know, he has or is trying to still win his first NBA championship, and he hasn't been able to do that, even though getting close, into occasions when it comes to Jimmy Butler. Moving to the Golden State Warriors could actually be the best decision for him if he wants a final shot at winning a title at the age of 35. Now he does stand at 6 with 230 elbs. He has been averaging 20.8 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 5 assists, which is fantastic to see. And he's also a 5-time All-NBA and 6-time All-Star when it comes to Jimmy Butler. Not only is he a great player on defense, but he's a fantastic player on offense that can definitely provide a lot, and has that experience in the NBA and also making it to the NBA Finals, but it seems more likely that the Miami Heat aren't able to build a team around him, or the Miami Heat in general aren't able to build a championship roster. I think his best shot at actually winning one is with the Golden State Warriors. Now we look at the Golden State Warriors even further, we definitely do see that they have missed a few pieces here and there. When Jordan P left, they definitely need a great 6-man. Now they tried to get Chris Poe, and that didn't really work that well. And on top of that, now that they lost Klay Thompson, they have been able to try and find replacements. Now they have done a really good job at finding replacements so far, but where I do believe the Golden State Warriors are still lacking is adding the other superstar that Klay Thompson has left. Klay Thompson, although he didn't have the greatest season last season, was still, a part of that star-studded conference. And because of that, we definitely see it being a huge part when it comes to Golden State Warriors actually having a proper shot. They just keep relying on Stephen Curry to be the one to provide everything on the scoring side of things, and maybe even the defensive side of things and leadership roles they need. Other players around him that he can actually work off and opens up the floor more for Steph Curry as well. I think Jimmy Butler can definitely do that. He's shown time and time again that Jimmy Butler can be not just a great player, but a very consistent player as well. And no shade to Klay Thompson, but that is something Klay Thompson didn't really have last season, I think, when it comes to Jimmy Butler. Not only does he do that well, but with the amount of experience that he has had in the NBA, he definitely is setting himself up for a great future ahead. Now Jimmy Butler, where I do believe he will probably be, in this circumstance, maybe before the trade deadline coming this season. Now when it comes to Golden State Warriors, they do have a lot of trade value or trade options that they could give up. A big name that is in the discussion is definitely some players like Andrew Wiggins is in the discussion, and also even other players like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and Brandon Plea now, although some of them are definitely up in Coming stars, we don't really know what Golden State Warriors or what they plan to do moving forward, but we do know that there have been trade options where they have definitely been in the picture. I think Bron Podzamski is probably one that the Golden State Warriors would want to hold on to, but and when it comes to the others, there definitely could be a huge possibility that just before the trade deadline, we could see a massive trade happen for the Golden State Warriors that could send Jimmy Butler into a State Warriors uniform now. Would it be worth it? I think in my head, when it comes to Golden State Warriors now, if they want to try their best shot at winning an NBA championship, now is the time to make a move. Stephen Curry isn't getting any younger, neither is Draymond Grr or even Jimmy Butler, and now may be the perfect time to get another NBA superstar under their belt.